Going on, YouTube land? How's everybody doing out there? Just wanted to give a quick update about everything that's going on with me and what I got planned here in the near future, because I got a friend coming out from Connecticut, Chris Merola, to do some camping here in Colorado, something that I've never done surrounding Bigfoot. Never been out there with Sasquatch on the mind in the woods overnight. So this will be a first for me, and pretty excited to get the invitation and kind of accept the invitation, and kind of, hand in hand with Chris, just deciding, hey, we're going to go out there and see what's good. So I don't know that he would have driven all the way out here if he didn't have me to meet up with him or not. But anyway, honored to be able to hit the woods with the guy, and got some supplies today. Went out and got a new flashlight, got a little lantern that can uh, shoot in red light, so that way I don't have to be blind in the Sasquatch if I do want to get a little light on the situation. I do like how the Expedition Bigfoot has those red lights. I've noticed they've gotten pretty close to Bigfoot by not shining the lights too much. Sorry about that. About to go to bed. Nobody was watching. I wasn't talking that loud. And it's late night here, so I'm not trying to be too loud, because I'm sitting on top of this cliff over here, and a lot of the neighborhood could hear me pretty good. But yeah, just getting ready to go camping with Chris Merola, so kind of stoked about that. He's in Colorado right now, uh, staying at a hotel, I think, but he'll be here tomorrow, so we're gonna meet up. And can't believe I got to work on my normal day off on a Tuesday. They kind of screwed me over when I asked for 10 days off, so gonna have to work a little bit. But thanks for watching. Thank you. Talk a little bit louder out here. Just kind of amped up because I'm getting all my supplies ready and getting everything ready to go, and bringing some kind of interesting things. Gonna bring a harmonica, gonna bring my ukulele. So I can't play it that well, but pluck it and make some noise, make some music for the Bigfoot, and for whoever else is out there camping, for that matter. Shit, I'll take that off. But yeah, should be a good time. Should be a real fun time. I'm not sure how long it's going to be. Might stay out there longer than I do. Just depends on contact and what we get and all that. Plus, there's many places to go. We could go out and get a spot, and then he could go somewhere else afterwards, maybe. Yeah, it should be pretty cool. I mean, I don't have like low or high expectations. I just feel like, oh, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna have a good time, and it's gonna be a great time no matter what. And I know the Bigfoot are everywhere, so might as well go out there and try to, have a campfire, see if they show up, kind of try to do things to coax them to come near. Maybe leave some food gifts, just on the presumption that they're gonna be curious if they're out there. Depends on how close we get. Depends on how many campers are out there. Depends on the location. But we're gonna kind of hit the forest and swing around, and I got a lot of area that we can cover. So if we don't like the first spot that was recommended to me, we're just gonna go deeper into some areas where I know they are, where there's been documented vocalizations. The rock hounding with Bigfoot channel. It's pretty much in that area in between Denver and Castle Rock, but in the forest on the west side. And some pretty good area in between there and directly here in the mountains that I can cut through, and all connects. I got a map book that I can find roads to get through, and we'll just come up on a cool spot. It should be awesome. And yeah, we're going to document. I'm charging my GoPro, but we'll see how the cell phone service is. I think I scratched the lens on my GoPro. I haven't been filming with it too, because it takes up a lot of video file room on my computer that I don't have right now. So I've been doing a lot of stuff on my iPhone, which is great because I got a high capacity one. But I know you want to blow bubbles for them. That is a very nice thing that unfortunately I don't think I have a bubble maker. They might think I'm weird if I start blowing bubbles for them. Let's put it that way. If I'm looking at them face to face, blowing bubbles is the last thing I'm going to think about. I'm going to try to not blow bubbles out of my ass. But, you know, that's going to be a clencher for sure. Try not to have a charming moment out there in the woods more than I have to. Should be good though. Hopefully I can say I got the tent, but I also have a hammock that I can hang up. So, I mean, I could get really close to them where they could touch me because this hammock hangs and I'll be like a fucking, you know what I mean? Just a bean in a pod hanging between two trees. So, I don't know if I'll be able to do that or not. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that or not. I'm going to set it up, but I don't know if I'm going to want to be in the tent, like in the middle, looking for a hand to come in. You know what I mean? So we'll just, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But I'm just excited that Chris is coming and he's on his way. And it'll just be cool to do a little bit of outdoorsiness and do the overnights and trying to be safe. Man, I don't know. There's a lot of cryptid creatures out there. Let's put it that way. So hopefully I only encounter what I want to encounter. And we're going to be south of I-70, so there shouldn't be any wolves. But like I said, you never know what's out there. So should be a great experience. So Chris and I have never physically met. We just have talked on the phone a lot. You know each other through YouTube. So couple New England guys gonna hit the woods here in Colorado and see what we get. Of course, I've been out here since 1998, but you know, the United States is beautiful. So he's cooking out there in the plains. He said he hadn't seen a cloud in 3 days driving here, and I said, well, don't worry, because the Rocky Mountains, all that air lifts up and it creates a lot of clouds. And shit, it's rained damn near every day. Like all week, it finally quit. It's kind of a heat wave right now. It's going to be like, I don't know, 97 all the way up to 100 degrees probably. So I don't know how much less of a temperature difference we'll get in the mountains. Hopefully at least 10 degrees or more. But, you know, it'd be nice if it was in the 80s and we're in the shade and got a breeze out there. But we'll see how that goes. Kind of dreading having to freaking comb my long ass hair out there. Yeah, maybe I could fucking play him a Sasquatch rap. You're funny. I've thought about that before. But yeah, somebody told me they sung to the Sasquatch when they met them because they didn't know what to do otherwise. And that person has invited me to go see the Sasquatch in Buffalo, New York, because I did them a favor. Just concerning an upload that I had with information that they released that their teacher actually told them, hey, you said way too much about the Bigfoot and you kind of released some secrets and too many people are going to know too much information. So he contacted Vic Cundiff and the Xeno Hunters guy and had his interviews taken off of those channels. So it was one on the Xeno Hunters and 2 different interviews on Vic Cundiff's show. If you can figure it out who it is, good for you. He's also appeared on the Bigfoot Crossroads show. So anyway, cool guy that, you know, we're just 2 dudes, Bigfoot guys that respect each other and respect each other's path. And it's like, hey, bro, you know, you mind doing this for me and taking that upload down where, you know, you played this clip of me saying this and then you showed the evidence of 1, 2, 3 different scenarios where exactly what I said was exactly what you were documenting. And I said, hey, no problem. I can take that down for you. It was a great fucking video. And it was when I was doing a lot of research, back when I was looking at the glyphs and trying to match it up with Chinese characters. The Sasquatch here, and some of that stuff still stands. The Sasquatch left a fucking, like 3 parts of a rectangle or square. And that in Chinese, that means like safe place. And so I made like an X or something, and he like made, I don't know what I made, but he took the sticks and made that out of it here at my gifting area. So just to see that was like reinforcement that, oh shit, yeah, they're fucking saying this is a safe place. And I've seen it where they put it on the ground behind like big really big junipers. They're like good places for them to hide. So out in public, out in the open, when they're trying to go to places, I found places where there's like a break of the juniper, and then that symbol left on the ground, and like maybe they were feeling safe and making that symbol. It's just amazing to think they could be that smart to sit there and just be in their own little world. Like even like when I'm at work and I'm like in the zone and I'm like kicking ass, I'm talking to myself and shit sometimes, like because my brain's on that like next level of like I'm like checking my subconscious to make sure like are we good? 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 Because I'm not running it by anybody else. I'm like on fucking autopilot, and you got to kind of bounce it off yourself. And so like I wonder if that's just what level the Sasquatch are on, where they're just like, I'm safe, I'm here, I'm here. It's like imagine being behind enemy lines. Imagine how fucking paranoid you would fucking be. You know what I mean? Trying to fucking not be seen. That was me as a kid. We used to go out in Rochester, New Hampshire, fucking after dark and hide, fucking sneaking around, looking at people through their kitchen window. Duck, duck, she's gonna see us running through people's backyards, just being like little 9-year-old kids, goofball 10-year-old shit. But I even had an encounter there where they used to leave somebody would leave these fucking logs across the creek, and we all thought, well, it's going to be big kids, right? But I lived at a house that was backed up to the school property. So there's also a cemetery and railroad tracks right down the fucking road. But that place was fucking creepy, and I guarantee you there's Bigfoot there, because one night I was walking home from the playground and I stayed after the sunset. And I was like, oh my God, I can't even fucking see. I'm going to go through the water. Usually we walk across these logs that somebody put across there that we thought was kids. That now I'm thinking maybe it was like the juvenile Bigfoot playing there at night, because I had to go all the way down to the end where the creek meandered out and turned into this swampy, marshy area. But I knew I could squish, 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 get through there with my shoes. And so right when I got there was a bunch of tall grass and muck growing. And on the left, something on the ground ran, and it was just like the juvenile that I saw. It was like grabbing the ground and throwing itself. I didn't know what it was. I told my mom there was a monkey, and she said, "There's no monkey." But I ran. It was right there, and I saw it in my peripheral, and I ran. It was black, and I lunged face forward like Superman over a 4-foot fence, hit the ground. My sweater was covered in leaves and shit from rolling in the grass, and I was just like fucking running the house. She's like, "What's wrong?" I said, "There's a monkey." She's like, "There's no monkeys." Well, I was like, "Well, something was there," and she said it was probably a rabbit. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it was a rabbit. I'm like, but it scared the shit out of me. But I've never seen a rabbit in New Hampshire. So anyway, it was fucking interesting to think that even Bigfoot could be there. And then looking back, like I said, I recommended to Brian and Chewy go hiking, and I don't think he followed my advice. But I said, hey, this is Duffy. I told him with a different channel. I'm like, you should go here behind the school in Rochester, New Hampshire. I said, there's a friggin' railroad tracks, and there's a cemetery. I said it would be a great place for you. Whoa, just got nailed by a June bug. Might have to end this fucking stream on that. I don't need to be getting dive bombed. Motherfucker. Sucker wanted to be famous on YouTube. But anyway, they're fucking all over. But New Hampshire was amazing. Just going back on my honeymoon and like seeing the Bigfoot, like getting it on camera, and then my wife seeing it and my great aunt seeing it, like having it get that close. Fucking nuts. I think with a little more effort, if I wasn't so fucking scared being in the woods with it, that I could have had a face to face, because it was snapping and shit. You can watch the video from 2017, but I don't know. I just would walk the other way, because my intention was to go up the mountain and then back down the side and to see what I could find. And I'm like, oh my God, this thing is like already close to me. And I'm just like, this is way too much. And plus the bugs were there back there were so bad. I had to just keep walking. Like they were literally like, I'd stop and it would just be like smack, 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 like mosquitoes all over me. So fucking terrible. But I don't know. Colorado's going to be really nice. Colorado's going to be cool. Hopefully the wind doesn't get too bad. That's the one thing that's been killer. So Chris is going to learn. He's freaked out about wolves and shit. He's got a lot of stigmas about mountain lions, which I'm not saying they're not out there. And I'm going to be carrying a big stick. If I got to whack one on the fucking head, my walking stick will hurt somebody. But Chris is bringing bear spray. God bless him. Can't knock him for it, bring it, because we just need that kind of stuff to defend ourselves if we have to. But hoping for a relatively peaceful exchange with the forest people if they come. But I'm not sure what kind of calls he intends on doing, knocking and things like that. It's kind of I don't know, might perturb them, but that might be part of the plan to get their attention, which I get, I guess. But I don't know. I'm just gonna have to, like I said, I'm along for the experience. Totally interested in just seeing what happens. Yes, sorry, Pigeon Gold. I do still give them food, but guess what? It hasn't been coming. And I don't care. It's good because I haven't been on a feeding schedule with it right now. I do believe it has came a few times, um, maybe more than a few, but I mean, like every month or so. Like it came solid from September through January. Then it slowed down a lot, and then I also saw I also saw that light on the mountain in December. It was really weird. Um, so I don't know where they go. I don't know if they're here. I have this theory that they might be with their family group going back because I found a footprint just a little bit longer than a Bic lighter. And I was like, holy shit, this is a tiny infant. And it's at one of my spots where I know they come down from this green area. It's so steep. It's hard to get up there. And the trail kind of goes to the right, and there's a bunch of other space that goes along I-70, and you can like kind of just see it's all wild space, even if it's owned by private property. There's no houses for a couple miles, and it's just kind of an area where they can get some square footage, and they come down and leave all these prints. It's amazing. So I'm thinking they're back with their family groups this time of year. And then I think maybe after a while, it's like, okay, you're good to go. Go ahead, Junior. Because maybe they're mating like in the fall. Maybe he's a little one, so he's being told, like, go ahead, you go away. Me and Mom, after she's pregnant, and if there's, however long that is, let's say it is September, October, November, December, January, February, March, you know, when are they having a baby? April, May? I mean, it's got to be somewhere in there. There's 9. So if they're having these babies, or around this time, and maybe they're there to protect the babies, and then maybe things are good again, like dad's back, or I don't know. There could be different schedules with juveniles and large ones, and it's interesting to think about all that shit. So even going in the woods with Chris right now, he went to an area in Virginia. I don't know if you people follow Chris Merola. He 2 years ago he had contact with a female, and she brought her babies and all this and that. So then he came back this year at a different time because the property was being sold and was the only time he's going to be able to go there. And the dad's there this time with like red eyes and shit climbing up and down a tree. So Chris is he's got a couple different encounters with red-eyed Sasquatch. So it makes me wonder what I'm going to experience. How are these things attracted? Like, are they connected to us personally? How do they show up? Is it just, are we going to be in a certain area with one, or just makes me wonder who's going to show up and how that's all going to be facilitated on Sasquatch's end. Like, I don't know. I just hope we go to a good area with ones that aren't going to fuck with us too much. Is kind of what I'm saying. But they're used to people going out there and camping in certain places, but there'll be other places where they're not necessarily wanting people, or it just, like I said, depends on the time of the year. It's really, I don't know, trying to figure it out. I should braid my hair. Yeah, somebody needs to come braid it because it ain't gonna be me. And secondly, I am tripping about my hair because I gotta get it wet and comb it every day, or I'm gonna have like a fucking dreadlock like this fucking big. So yeah, I even have these. I've got these hollow bamboo pieces that I'm gonna big bang together and try to use that as a little communication thing. Yeah, a lot of it is speculating until it happens. But it is interesting to just like, because the more you experience them, the more it makes you wonder what the frig is going on with these things. So I'll know once I get in the woods with them, and if they show up, that is. Really, I don't know. We'll see. Get to know Chris and see if he's the Sasquatch whisperer or what. If they're gonna come, if he's gonna knock to him. I don't know what's gonna happen. He's kind of like confident that we're gonna have an experience, because he's like, oh, they always show up, which is like, you know, maybe you pick a good spot, or maybe they do always show up. I don't know. Fucking, something braided a horse's hair in fucking Texas the first night I slept there. It's like, what did that? I bought the horse some sweet feed, and all of a sudden, there's braiding in the horse's mane. Like, I'm charitable, and then I'm being gifted, you know, or I'm being shown this phenomenon. It's like, how does that happen? Would it have happened if I didn't buy the sweet feed? Um, I don't know. Would it have happened if I didn't show up that day? I don't know. If I showed up the next day, makes you wonder. Got to be careful too. I'm on the porch back here at night, and we've been having bears at the property. They're like knocking down garbage cans and shit. Tomorrow's trash day, so they're probably licking their chops, because I saw trash cans knocked down last week all the way down to the entrance of the neighborhood. So they're definitely around. We don't put the trash out till tomorrow morning, but still, fucking, these suckers been getting on my porch. They chewed on some sunflowers that I was growing, which kind of pissed me off, which is fine, because I didn't plant them, the squirrels did. But I thought I would try to let them grow among my other plantings, and they chomped them down, and hopefully they're going to leave most of my flowers alone. But I don't like having them up on this deck, having them right here on the house. I don't want one to show up right now, but they're close. I've seen them right in the side yard. I went over here and took a piss one day, and I look up, and this bear was walking, and I'm like, hey, buddy. And he just took off crashing back down there into the little wooded area back there, which is where I've also found a fake fire pit. Found 2 fucking deer legs from a yearling, a newborn fawn, rather. Fucking dog legged and put into a square. So, I mean, this, the Bigfoot's out there. He's like right over there. The fucking bear's right over there. When we first moved here, one time I was walking out here with my brother, and something grunted at us. I mean, looking back, I'm like, maybe it was a buck, but I've never heard I don't think I've ever heard a buck snort in this neighborhood at us. These deer are pretty chill, and they're used to people. But like, we were just walking through, and all of a sudden something's like, I don't even know for what it was. I heard that fucking noise. I turned around and ran. I'm just like assuming it was a deer, but I don't know what the fuck's laying up there, just chilling where people don't go, and there's no human scent. You know, the animals know. See, we can't smell that shit, but the animals know exactly what's going on just by the smell, based on the scent of things. It's amazing how they can read the environment, even on a windy night. I was telling somebody about mountain lions and why they hunt on the windy nights, and they're like, because they can't be smelled, and also it's because the cover of the wind and the leaves itself they can't be heard. They're so fucking stealth. One time I was sitting out here, and it was so windy. I was with my brother and his dog, and I looked over, and there goes the back end of a fucking mountain lion, and the tail, it looked like Scooby-Doo. It was fucking amazing. It was, thick ass tail. And the mountain lions have been seen just 2 houses down on video camera, 2 or 3 houses down, and it's all connected through the back right here. So that's where they come, is right up there. And the human scent is like here, but then that's where the non-human scent is. So we're kind of right on the cusp of all that. But I don't think the Bigfoot is inhibited really by humans at all. When I got the footsteps of that Bigfoot out here, when I was out there and I interrupted it eating and all that, this kid was out here playing basketball just a couple houses down. I could hear him dribbling. They got a light they can turn on at night, and he plays hoops out there. One of their kids does. And I just couldn't believe that, like, it was it. But then I thought, that's the cover. That's like the cover that they use. Like, I'll hear shit I'll like play a podcast, and I'll hear stuff moving in my yard. If I'm out here in complete silence, like, I don't hear as much. But if I'm like having a little noise going, or if I'm on the phone having a conversation, I'm hearing the animals kind of scatter, because they're hearing me talk, and then they're getting inhibited, or they're smart enough to move. I saw this fucking rabbit cross the driveway behind me the other day, and he was like a ninja. He stayed in my blind spot and went the exact speed I was going. And he got all the way across the driveway before I turned around and noticed him. And I was like, that little motherfucker. And he jumped under the fucking car. And I'm like, that is a fucking smart animal. And it just goes to show you the intelligence of nature. You know, you take it for granted, but these things are survivors. You know, I think animals are going to be here long after humanity is all gone. Let's put it that way. But anyway, it's going to be cool with Chris. I can't freaking wait. And I just wanted to kind of announce it, let everybody know. I was getting all excited, getting my shit together. So I was all juiced up. I figured I'd get on and do a video. And I feel bad that he isn't here tonight, but I should be asleep by now. I got to friggin' work early, but it won't be long until I'm in the woods. And I'm pretty stoked just to sleep on the ground, sleep in a cot, kind of in a hammock, just, you know, doing my thing and relax, breathe in the good air, get out of the city, which I'm not in the city now, but it does kind of suck. I always drive my window down and I realize how polluted the air is. I feel bad when I see like moms walking their kids on a fucking sidewalk with cars driving by. I'm like, I'm like, come on, take that kid to the park. It's like people don't realize how bad the air is in a city. In Denver, the air settles, and so it can get real stagnant and real shitty. But thanks to the geoengineering project, the shit is moving. But I do believe if you go out and you take a flashlight and you shine it at night, a white flashlight, and you shine it up in the air and you look at all the particulates going through there, it's going to be pretty dirty. So it is at times anyway. I've seen even on that Expedition Bigfoot show, inadvertently they capture some super dirty air, and it's just kind of something you're going to realize comes with the geoengineering, because in order to move that air and heat it and cool it and all that, they got to have some micro particulates in the air that they can use to do it that you don't see, but you're breathing it in and it's trickling down and it's getting in all your food. And yeah, the studies of microplastics are a big part of it, and they're trying to blame shit like this water bottle. And I'm not saying it's not in there, but what I'm saying is it's fucking cover for the real deal. They're fucking us over, but I don't know. It could be for the best. Imagine if they didn't have the clouds rolling in. I mean, the temperatures that the world is hitting. America is like this, you know, blinded by what's really, really going on as the world just kind of crumbles around us and we just suck it all in. But it is a beautiful world out there. Let it be a beautiful life for everybody. I don't mean to get off on a fucking bad tangent, but that's why you got to get out in the woods and kind of forget the fucking bullshit and not get caught up in the politics and all the fucking crap that they try to make you fucking swallow as a fucking human, because they really got you running on a fucking rat wheel sometimes. And it's hard to get off it. Even employment and working your job is fucking hard for me to make enough fucking vacation time to even get a fucking week off, which seems ridiculous, but that's what happens when you're working for fucking corporate America. It's like, you know, you might not get any fucking favors, which really sucks. But yeah, I'm trying to forget all that bullshit for a while and fucking hit the woods and see what the next chapter of my life is going to be, and see if I live through these encounters with Bigfoot that Chris Merola is supposedly going to be bringing here in Colorado. So wish me luck. Hope that only the good Sasquatch show up, because that's what I need. No bad ones. Even if they're gonna have red eyes, it might be fucking scary. So I'll try to document shit. I don't know. I honestly don't know how that's gonna go. It could be. Oh, I want to crack my neck. It could be. It really could be like so intense. Like a lot of these guys on the podcast say that I'm not like flipping out my camera, and I mean I don't want to like turn a fucking flash on in one of these things' eyes, but don't get me wrong, if they're like getting close and I can like slide my phone out and turn off the flash and click and see if I can, you know, zoom in on some fucking red eye phenomenon or get some eye shine or get some vocalizations or leave a recorder running. I actually should bring my secondary phone just so I can record audio, leave the audio recorder going. I need to go plug that in and charge it right now and get a fucking charger for that thing. But there's a lot of thinking I've been having to do to make sure I'm getting everything, and bring binoculars and fucking bring this and just random shit I have that I might need. That I got my infrared night vision scope, but like I said, I don't want to hit them with the infrared light because they can see that and it's like a spotlight. So if I turn that camera on, it's got a fucking bright light that they can see even though you can't fucking see it. And like I said, I just don't want to do that to them per se, especially if they're trying to get close. So I'm gonna try to roast some marshmallows and just have a good ass camping time no matter what. Like I said, I'm not basing this trip on if I see Bigfoot or not, that it's gonna be ruined. It's gonna be like bro time with Chris and with two Bigfoot buddies. But what we can do besides the overnights is we have all the day to, even though I gotta get some sleep sometime, go hiking, go exploring, go looking for a new place to camp, necessarily, or just find places to look for structures or do whatever we want. We can just chill at the fucking campsite all day if it's fucking cool enough. But yeah, we're just gonna have to see what we get and have to see what we can find out there. But it should be awesome, dude. Everywhere I look for Bigfoot in Colorado, I find it. And there's also a place. I got this kid at work. It's so funny. See, I got people believing in Bigfoot, and so I went hiking with one guy that I work with named Robert. Now, my friend Joseph, he's all into photography. So I went hiking with him one time and he was trying to take photographs. But I was telling him about Bigfoot structures and I was showing him some pictures. Next thing you fucking know, he shows up at work and he's like, dude, look at this. It's like, I took these with my camera. And I mean, they were some of the best shots of a Bigfoot structure you've ever seen, because not only were they like 20-foot Colorado Bigfoot style structures, like really huge teepees, but this motherfucker had his Nikon camera with a huge lens, like zooming in and getting so many trees in the foreground and focusing and getting the colors just right. And I was like, dude, you fucking are rocking that photo. So it's really cool. I got to get up to that area and go for a hike and try to find some structures out there, and I might do that with Chris if I can tomorrow, or I'm gonna probably be busy as fuck really getting shit together for the fucking next day. So it's in the future though for me to get out there and do some structure exploring. But I don't know what we're gonna find during this whole time. And I did find a drone in the woods when I went hiking with my buddy Robert, and I watched the footage and I was able to see the house from this kid flew his drone over the highway, and I saw a landmark, and then he flew it back and I found out which house it is. So I knocked and they didn't answer. So I need to go back there and see if I can get it. It was 4 years ago. The footage was from 4 fucking years ago. So I didn't want to drop the drone because the house could have sold. It could be a totally different person. So it was funny as fuck though. So it's kind of on the way. So I might stop there. Um, but in between that time, there was actually a death on the highway here in Colorado by an undocumented illegal immigrant that had been tried to deport the motherfucker 16 times until he finally fucking killed somebody, and I guess they got him now. So, but that's what it takes. So I've been avoiding that stretch of highway just out of respect for the fucking ghost of the fucking woman killed out there. But since I'm going out there, didn't want to waste my gas, but I'm gonna go out there again, and it's kind of a drive, but go out there and try to drop that drone off and see if they fucking are home, see if they answer, because I had a camera outside and a Ring doorbell that I rang. Didn't talk to it though. Didn't want to be a fucking weirdo talking to a Ring doorbell. So if they answer the door next time I head out there, so be it. It'll probably be early in the morning. If not, whatever. I'll fucking try to get the drone to them on the way back or something. But I don't know, kind of an interesting side story about all that shit. I know, I do want to try to get it. It was just some fucking skinny kid, like, 20 fucking years old, 25 years old or some shit. And I'm like, oh, dude, high school kid even. I'm just like, okay, I got your drone, bro. And it wasn't even that fucking far from his house. So it was funny watching him fucking crash it too. It was such a bad windstorm. I'm like, I cannot believe this kid is flying his drone in this. He was like testing it probably. But it was like rain was coming at us sideways, and fucking he just right into a fucking treetop, and then eventually it hit the fucking ground, and it was just a fucking still shot of it just sitting there on the fucking ground. It was funny as fuck. But yeah, I popped that fucking memory card in, so I'll return that to him if I can. So he should be fucking thrilled. But anyway, I'm gonna go fucking plug in that old phone and try to get some audio when I'm out there with Chris. So I'll have, my phone in my pocket in case I gotta call 911 because Sasquatch fucking rip the fucking bumper off my truck or something. And other than that, fucking, I'll let my old phone record. But when it's hooked up to the internet, it actually will dump the shit onto my iCloud. So that's cool that I'll have, these recordings that I should be able to access on this phone here that I'm recording this video on right now. So kind of the benefits of having any kind of technology out there. So but you want to keep it kind of primitive, I think, when you're trying to have interactions with Sasquatch. But can they sense the technology? Maybe they sense all the electronics. I don't know if they feel your phone or not. I don't know, but I just know, like, my old Sony Handycam used to make noise and shit, so I would run it and I could hear it physically in the woods. It was so quiet. I could hear the Sony Handycam making noise, and I would be like, shit, I know Sasquatch is hearing that right now. But they still would interact with me at this park. It's fucking a mountain right up here. I can fucking see it from here. They were on the north side in a valley, but it was the right place, the right location, and I was able to get some good shit there. But that's what's amazing, like in that Utah area, man. They've got some really interesting mountain ranges that they're just in the Uintas and shit. They're just seem to be everywhere. The Utah Sasquatch would find those fuckers with his dogs. I don't know if it's because he had his dogs out there running ahead of him and he had to run to keep up with his dogs, and he's super athletic. If that was it, or like what it was, if the Sasquatch was attracted to his dogs, makes me wonder. Um, Good shit though. Anyway, I hope it's not too buggy out there. I did, like I said, got a fucking red light lantern for the Sasquatch to keep the fucking mood mellow. So, got to get some food tomorrow with Chris, get some apples and some different shit I got on the list to feed me and to feed the Sasquatch. And gonna be a fucking awesome time. So, thank you everybody for watching. Do appreciate it. I gotta go hit the hay, but I'll be in the woods soon enough. And thank you so much. Appreciate all the well wishes. And thank you. I'll definitely let you guys know what's going on, and hopefully feel that thing. All right, y'all. You take care. I'll see you out in the woods later on.